Hey guys, so in my last video about Bless, I talked about what happened at the Emissary Conference, the various ramifications of what we learned, and a few of my own observations. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing two of the recent controversies, I suppose, in the Bless community that have arisen since the Emissary Conference. Now, the first it stems from the conference itself, and that is the $200 Collector's Edition. In Bless, there are three packages that will give you early access. The base game is going to be $30. The Standard Edition is the $30 base game. However, if you want early access, you can instead pay $40 and also gain a 2-day head start on the early access, as well as 30 days premium membership. The Deluxe Edition is $70, offers a 2-day head start on early access, 60 days premium membership, and 2,450 Lumina, a mount skin, and a pet skin. Finally, the one that has everyone up in arms, there is the Collector's Edition. For $200, you get a 2-day head start on the early access, mentioned in credits, premium customer service, twinkling wing effect, 90 days premium membership, 3,800 Lumina, mount skin, pet skin, costume skin, and a weapon skin. So people are outraged about the $200 Collector's Edition. Now, all three of them offer the 2-day head start. All of them offer a certain amount of premium membership, obviously increasing the amount along with how much you've spent. The Deluxe and Collectors both offer Lumina, but there's two controversial things about the Collector's Edition. The first is the price. People seem annoyed that the price is not closer to $100, maybe at most $150. But personally, I do not see a problem with the price. Now, will I be buying it? No, I'm going to buy the $40 Standard Edition. However, Collector's Editions have always been expensive. Usually they're not $200, I will grant you that. But there's no reason to buy the Collector's Edition if you don't think it's worth the money. If you look at the Collector's Edition and go, I don't really care about that, then don't buy it. Nothing of value is going to be lost by not buying the Collector's Edition. You're still going to get the 2-day head start on early access. You're still going to get the 30-day premium membership. If you got the Deluxe Edition instead, for $130 cheaper, you still get a good amount of Lumina, a mount skin, and a pet skin. All you're missing are the weapon skin, the costume skin, a bit of Lumina, 1 month of premium membership, the twinkling wing effect being mentioned in the credits, and the other controversial thing, premium customer service. But the premium customer service, it's kind of something to laugh about. So obviously, you look at it and you go, what? How dare they? This is outrageous. They should treat all customers the same. But no game that I have played treats all the customers the same. If you go and play a game and you spend several $100s on the game, you will get faster customer service than if you spend nothing on the game. It's just how they work. If you are a big spender, willing to support the game with lots of your money, then the customer service is going to prioritize you higher, because losing you is much more dangerous to the game than losing someone that spends the bare minimum or nothing at all and also has a problem. So while most games do this, it is kind of funny that Bless has come out and just outright said it, that, hey, yeah, we're going to give special treatment to customer service for those that need it, that have bought the Collector's Edition. But if you spend enough in the in-game cash shop, I guarantee you'll get the exact same treatment. Also, how often do people actually use customer service? I've used customer service in Black Desert, the game that I've been playing for the last year and a bit. Maybe 3 times. Once for an actual issue, once to see if they could change something about my account, and I don't remember what the third time was. I just think I have an email somewhere. So most players, they don't have really a need to use customer service all that often. It's there for if things go really wrong. If they're processing refunds, then it's not really going to take all that long anyways. They just process the refunds. So if you're really pissed about the game and you want to refund it, don't worry. You might have to wait an extra like 2 hours past the collector's edition for your refund to be approved and have the money back in your account. Unless you have to pay off some Mexican cartel, I think you'll be fine. But realistically, I do not see too much of a problem with the $200 collector's edition. There's nothing essential to the game in there. The only thing that people could argue would be essential to the game would be the extra premium membership. But seeing as you can get that with both the $40 and $70 edition, clearly it's not something unique to the collector's edition. And $200, while very expensive, it's still at the level where if you really want to support the game, go ahead and buy it, but you don't need to buy it to play the game. People are acting like this is the only way you can play the game. If you want to play Bless Online, you need to pay $200, pony it up, and that's the only way you're getting into the game. Not true. So that is the first ongoing controversy for Bless. People have been talking about it everywhere. $200, it's practically a meme in its own right when people mention Bless these days. And personally, I don't really see a big problem with it. If you don't like it, just don't buy it. You do have other, better options. Now, the second thing that some of you may have heard of is emissaries getting a special PvP cloak. And this cloak allows emissaries to totally ignore world PvP, faction PvP. This would have huge ramifications on the game, as an emissary that had the cloak would then be able to scout the opponent's formations, the opponent's fortifications, what they were doing, and get away totally scot-free because people couldn't do anything to them. Emissaries would be able to monopolize various resources because people couldn't interrupt them by hitting them or attacking them. It would have fairly large ramifications on the game, even if the actual impact would be pretty small because the number of emissaries is so tiny. However, this was acknowledged on Reddit to be a hoax. A Redditor, I forget his name, not really going to look it up right now, admitted that he'd started this rumor on Discord, then gone into a few of the various streamers that are emissaries and asked them about it. A few streamers had played along or just gone along with it, thinking that they'd heard it somewhere and it sounded plausible, and it blossomed into a huge thing. This is not true. The cloak does not exist. There is no special emissary cloak. You do not need to go start a massive YouTube channel or Twitch following so that you can become a Bless emissary and get the cloak. Emissaries are probably going to have certain bonuses or special preferential treatment, but a PvP immune cloak is not one of those treatments. So, apart from that, Bless Online, the conference itself, the emissary conference, did not go well, as I discussed in the last video. But the hype train, while it does seem like there are a few problems, it hasn't fully derailed. There are still lots of people being very optimistic about it. The top posts on the subreddit for Bless for the first day after the conference were pretty negative, but they're starting to become positive again. People are talking about how they can't wait for the game, how they're really hopeful that the game's going to do well. And while it's not as positive as it could be if they'd nailed the conference 100%, if they showed us the cash shop already, it is fairly... It's more positive than you'd think just looking at the discussion about Bless Online. So that's another good thing. So Bless Online, I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm making videos for it because I'm excited for it. It's not the only big game coming out in April. I believe Dauntless is coming out on May 24th, open beta. But Bless Online is the only MMO coming out in May. And it's also one of the only MMOs coming out this year. So, pretty awesome that it's finally coming out. I will be playing it on release to see how it plays, see how it is. Hopefully it lives up to the tentative hype. A lot of people are conflating the Japanese as well as the Korean and the failed Russian version of the game with North American and European versions of the game. They're spreading misinformation, talking about how this is the way it is in the Japanese server, or they did it this way in Korea, so that's how it's going to be over here. And I'd like to remind everyone that there are changes across all the servers. The Japanese server is different from the Korean server, as was the Russian server. Our server is going to be very different from what the Japanese server was. So, yes, you can look at the Japanese server and sort of get a base idea about what the game's going to be like, what the dungeons are going to look like, graphics and everything. But you can't look at the Japanese server and say, they've got skill resets in their cash shop, that's the only way to get them. We're going to have skill resets in the cash shop, that's going to be the only way to get them. You can't look at the Japanese server and say they've got terrible optimization, or they've got bad netcode, or I'm trying to think of something positive. They've got the friendliest community ever, and everyone's super helpful, and just apply that to North American and European communities as, well, for one, everyone knows that North American and European communities are not super helpful. Okay, some of us are, but I mean, a lot of players in those games are pretty toxic. I'll be honest. I've played MMOs for 15 years now. There's a lot of very toxic players. But you cannot just look at the Japanese and Korean versions and say that's how it's going to be, especially because NeoWiz has put a lot of effort into making the Western version different and tailoring it to be compatible with what the West is looking for in an MMO. Is it going to be perfect? I doubt it. I feel there's going to be problems. I feel the cash shop, they're hiding it for a reason, either because it's not done, they haven't finished translating it, or because there's stuff in there they don't want us to see because they know we'll react badly. But there's no guarantee about any of that. This is all speculation, just like people saying that the Japanese server has X, so the North American and European servers are going to have X. It's all speculation. We have no idea what is going to be in the cash shop. We have no idea what's going to stay from the Japanese or Korean versions and what's going to be gone. Well, except for the combat system. We know the combat system's been overhauled. So, Bless Online, it's looking good. It's looking steady. It's not looking amazing, but it's not looking terrible either. So, expect a few more videos in the upcoming 2 weeks as we close in on launch. 2 weeks from today, actually, exactly, is when Bless will be releasing. I hope to see a lot of you either join me in game or at least following along. Try not to be too negative about Bless. I understand that, yes, it's failed a few times. Yes, it's had problems. But at the same time, NeoWiz is clearly trying. They clearly believe they have something that people want to play and want to buy, or they wouldn't have self-published in North America and EU. And if it does turn out it's a giant cash grab, then, oh well, I spent my $40. I'll probably get at least a few weeks of fun out of it no matter what. And if it's not a cash grab and it turns out to be actually a really good MMO and NeoWiz continues to remain attentive to player demands and listen to player feedback, then it could have the potential to be a very good MMO. So, thanks for listening, guys. I know I kind of rambled a bit, but I am fairly excited for Bless. It's been a while since a decent MMO came over to the West. The last ones would have been Black Desert and Blade and Soul, which were 2 years ago now. I hope that some of you are at least feeling some excitement by now. Comment below if any of these videos have changed your mind, if anything you've seen has changed your mind, or if you're still just kind of feeling a little meh about the whole prospect of Bless. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and have a good one.